So, metta meditation is, metta is the Buddha's word for loving kindness, and it's a non-romantic, caring. It's the quality that we all know, but is hard to define, and it, along with all emotions, they can be felt in the body. When a dog gets angry, we can see the hairs on its back go up, and us being mammals, when we're angry, we get tension in our back, and that's where the phrase "gets our back up" comes from. And metta has that same feeling in the body. It's this warm, fuzzy feeling for me. And it's that feeling that we get when we think of certain heartwarming things. That's why it's called heartwarming. So metta meditation, the way the Buddha taught, is formulaic, and there's no second level. There's repeating the same thing, like a runner running the same loop over and over again. They get better at running uphill if their loop has uphills, and better at running in general when they practice general running. So what we'll do, we'll start the same way that we usually do, by thinking of something, whether it's real or imaginary, something that's wholly good. So it could be a memory that we have of seeing baby Labrador puppies all playing with each other and tugging at your shoelaces, or it can be anything. There's no right or wrong image, but an image that brings that feeling. So we'll just practice that, drawing that memory or image into our head, and we see if we can feel an associated sense in the body. So we might feel it in our chest, we might feel it in our fingertips, in our hands. We might even imagine this warm, loving energy being in the atmosphere and us breathing it in. We might feel ourselves radiating this warm energy out. Whatever we feel is whatever we feel, but we're trying to develop that sense in the body, parallel to those warm, kind thoughts. We can move on to someone extremely close to us. It could be a best friend, it could be a sibling, it could be a parent, someone very close to us. And if there's a recent fond memory, we can use that as inspiration. We can recall all the nice things that they've done for us. We can wish them happiness, we can wish them peace. We can if it's easy, we can wish them a specific kindness. If you know a sibling or a parent, maybe not a parent, but it's like a sibling, if they've just got married, we can wish them a long happy marriage. If someone's just had a baby, we can wish them and their baby happiness. So we're projecting into the future, imagining them to have a wonderful life, wishing them well and being grateful for them in our lives. As we're recalling these memories and we're projecting happiness into the future, we can see how that makes us feel in the present. We can note that warm feeling, and then we can switch to the body. If there is that warm sensation in the body, we can grow it in two ways. We can grow it in how far it spreads throughout the body, and we can grow its intensity. I find I can only do one at the time, so I pick one and try and grow in that particular way. As we breathe out, we can imagine this warm energy in our chest flowing into our arms and our fingers. You might be able to feel the energy around us and coming into our bodies. Just as our bodies can feel tension in the room, and some people can almost sense that an empty room has a feeling, as ridiculous as it sounds, but we do pick up on these very subtle cues, and we can sometimes feel the energy coming into us. We can feel our energy coming out of us, and if not, that's okay. We can now move on to someone quite neutral to us that we recognise, someone that we don't know well at all. It could be someone who works at the supermarket that we go to every week, someone that we exchange a few words, but we might not even know their name. And what we can do is wish that person the same kindness that we've wished our closest friends and family, because to other people they are those close friends and family. we can note if that warm feeling was harder to maintain. We can note if it was growing continuously. We can note how easy or how hard it was to spread that same kindness. And if we can't quite get there, that's not an issue. There isn't a fixed point where we need to go. We're doing the same thing over and over again to expand our ability, and that ability has no limits. There is no limit to how kind, how caring, and how happy we can be. There is no finite amount of love. If we share love, we have more than it. So there's no end. So we shouldn't have to worry about not being enough now. We can now attempt to turn that same kindness to someone that we don't get on with. We don't have to start liking this person, but we don't have to wish them harm. If they're unkind to us, there'll be some suffering on their side, and we don't want to wish them more suffering because they're likely to become more unkind. So we can practice wishing them well. We don't have to forgive them, we don't have to like them, but we can still wish them a long life, free of sickness, free of disease, free of anxiety. we may have found ourselves picking someone who we've picked before, someone that's been in our lives for a long time, and then we realise where there used to be this huge tightening of our entire body. Our teeth almost started grinding us at the thought of them, and then after practicing a few times, we might realise there's nothing there. There's no hatred, there's no anger to overcome. They're just a person. They're not this devil. They're not this villain who's out to get us. They're just a person, and all that acidic toxicity is gone, and we might not like them, but there is no dislike for them either. We may have found that we can see their point of view. We might even agree with some of the things that they've said and done, whereas before we were too caught up. So if that has happened, I'm happy for you. And it's a nice place to be when these people no longer weigh us down. And then there's kindness that flows towards them without having to try too hard. So for the last 4 or 5 or so minutes, 3 or 4 minutes, we can turn that kindness inwards to ourselves. We can remove anxiety, worry. Are we good enough? Are we good? Are we bad? What do other people think of me? Have I done something wrong? Or have I not done enough right things? Those are questions that we will never be able to answer, so we can stop asking ourselves. We can accept ourselves for who we are, rather than analysing what parts are good, what parts are bad, what parts do I need to improve, what parts have I improved. It's exhausting. When we can just say, do I like being me?